All right, y'all, and everybody who is considering doing a mega project or you're already part of the mega project. Still haven't really seen any emails back. So, however patient I need to be, that's fine. However patient I need to be with some of these online people, some of you online people, that's all right. At least in the physical world, I have people, we're moving and we're doing what we need to do. But man, reaching out to people online, still, what a process. But anyways, nonetheless, in the meantime, let this add. This thing is so annoying. I gotta wait. Almost done. Almost. Here we go. All right. So I titled this the TR3B Human Vessel. Why do I title it the TR3B Human Vessel? Because a lot of people think that when it comes to things like levitation, for example, you need more power. It's not about power, and the only reason people say it is about power, but it's also about power so much as it is their comprehension of power. Right now, for example, when talking about the human biofield and bioresonant tools to help enhance the energy fields in the body, for example, the magnetic field, the electromagnetic field, the localized field around you, your aura. When it comes to talking about how we can make a human levitate, for example, many people, when comparing what they see in the constructs, for lack of a better term, and the things or mechanisms, devices, or tools created that utilize these energies that are associated with such topics as human levitation, when people make these comparisons, they think and assume that, well, you need a lot of power because the human energy is weak. It's not weak. It is subtle. Okay? Because at the end of it all, even the stuff used in the TR3B or other things like ionic lift, EHD systems, magnetohydrodynamic systems, for example, there are things happening on the quantum scale, anyways, and this is very well known. Okay? It's like a domino effect coming from the infinitely small movement of energy, the infinitely small contracting and expanding energy. So there is no such thing as weak. All right, there is no weak field in the human energy. There's only subtle, and how much of it is actually being tapped into, and in what way. Just as a circuit board has an operating amp that takes the power that is fed into it to amplify it, small amount of power, right? Depending on the build, how big or how much the scale is needed. Just as the operating amp on the circuit board can do that, well, the human has their own way, in many ways, of taking the same concept of an operating amp, but applying it to amplify, for example, the human bioelectric field through things such as electrodes. Very simple. So it's not about how much power, because we know very well that anyone can create a circuit with their own body and light a light bulb. Okay, if they connect to other things too. Lots of wild experiments, lots of ways to do that using chemistry and using fruits and so many other things, right? So we know that power moves through humanity, through the vessel that is the human. And because power moves through the vessel that is the human, that power needs to be tapped into. But that power is not really tapped into, and that is why many people, including in our mega project, we are many we how do I say this? I don't want to say we dabble, but we research and study this on multiple levels. Okay, because when we see what is applied in these technology, what we see is a reflection of our own internal energies. Okay, So you wouldn't feel an electric current running through you if there was no way, if you weren't some kind of medium. Oh, this simple, this is it sounds so simple for some, but yet it sounds complicated for some. And honestly, it's not complicated. It's very simple. Okay, we are conduits, we are vessels, we are catalysts of energy flowing. So instead of what people who work with bioresonance focus on is amplifying what we already have within us and around us in our own localized field. For example, the TR3B and the ionic lift. It speaks about, hold on, let me take this because this ad stuff, I'm so annoyed by it right now. I really don't want to hear it. The fuck? Okay. Anyways, that's what a lot of us look into. All right. We see that these things in the real world are applied and are reflections of the power within us, the powers within us, and emotions and energies within us. So the TR, like I was saying, the TR3B and the ionic lifts, everything that is powering those things, all those movements of energy, and the gadgets used to amplify or to tune things. Well, guess what? We have our own gadgets, such as tuning forks, to amplify those things. You can use copper. Okay, people use Ayurvedic medicine, right? And other techniques, certain spiritual dances, for example, combining these things, like for example, the Egyptian, what do they call them? The guys who spin, the guys who do that ritual spinning. Okay, they're tapping into toroidal forces, which have their own small, not small, well, small, yeah. Yeah, they got they have their own subtle energy and charge. Okay, so this is what our area of, you could say, superhuman amplification and bioresonance focus on in our project. Yeah. Individually in the project and individually. All right. Individually, a lot of us who understand this, and that's why we work with the subtle energies more because we know that these subtle energies are very powerful indeed because these subtle energies are present in even bigger scaled mechanisms. Anyways, y'all, that's all I got. Namaste.